Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we are talking about Pluto in retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So, Pluto actually went into full retrograde as of April 27th. So, I will have all the other dates and information for Pluto in retrograde, when it went into post shadow, pre shadow, all of that information, and some other details below. So, make sure that you do that. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment on this video. I will definitely get back to you. So let's talk about all things Pluto. So Pluto brings up issues of fear of death, or situations that transition into death, or things that are about to die. And it's kind of like almost like that rising of the phoenix, of like something has to die before something can come back into life. And we're kind of seeing that kind of rise of life kind of in all our plants outside. So all of our plants that we thought were dead with all this freeze are starting to come back, and you can see those blooms and kind of feeling that energy as well, as kind of amping up. But we're also going to have this kind of weird relationship with death during this time frame. It's one of those, there may be death of a career. It could be death of like being a parent with children as they go off to college or get older. Now I have a child that's doing this, and that could kind of make you feel a little bit isolated or alone, or not like I'm doing anything more. It's one of those, it's kind of like the death of this, but you haven't really transformed into the new part yet. You know, like now I have a teenager. I had a preteen not too long ago, and now I have a teenager. And now how do I deal with this, or how do I transform into this? It will be quite an interesting energy as we do that. It's one of those, we are going to feel this emotion come up for most of us. I will tell you that Pluto in retrograde is really, really difficult for a lot of people that have psychic abilities. This is the one that usually affects most psychics, and can be a little overwhelming as well. It can be a little intense. It can bring up kind of spiritual gifts, and this is not only for psychics but healers and people in the healing arts as well, doctors, physicians, or people that are writing self-help books or that sort of thing. You're going to feel that coming up. I tell people that this is a really great time to look into books that you're really interested in, astrology, self-help, kind of those sort of things, and kind of recenter your energy back into what you know and what you are choosing to learn at this time frame. I will say that this is a really great time to kind of have some looks at some old wounds that you haven't quite let go of. Sometimes this can be from this life, and it could be from past lives as well. And this is kind of the combination of both Pluto and Neptune being in retrograde at the same time. And so this could bring up some spiritual wounds, or some wounds, physical wounds that have come up from your past. And as we do that, it's one of those, it's giving you a new understanding, kind of like looking at things differently. Things that really affected you when you were a young child aren't going to affect you near as much as an adult, and going to give you a different perspective. Like, wow, I really have changed my thinking, or my thinking has really upgraded since then. And how do you feel about this? And allow your feelings to flow during this time frame. It's a time to let things go. Pluto, kind of being our last planet all the way out there, is going to affect countries, not just individuals. It is going to affect everybody in some point. And this is a planet that can kind of bring death to things in a really interesting way, because it can really bring death to careers. Someone may say the wrong thing and their career is over. We've seen a lot of that lately, but this is only the beginning of it, and it has been in retrograde. Pluto has been in retrograde since January, so we're seeing a lot of careers. You're saying the wrong thing, and that's going to end your career. So know that this is some energy that's coming at us, and aware that these retrogrades are bringing us to a new healed state. It's not just to punish us for things that we did wrong, but it's kind of to give us a new insight, or a new lease on life with this. I will tell you that the date that I have found that is probably going to be the hardest, or there's something major going to be happening on the global scale, will be like May 17th. This is kind of going to confirm some traveling, or kind of like, are we going down the right path as a planet, not just as a person. It could be on a personal scale, but most likely it is going to be on a global scale, because it's affecting some energy with the sun as well. So it's kind of like what's coming in globally. So let's pull some angel cards and get us a little bit deeper insight into Pluto in retrograde. So the first card that I pull is all about miracles. When something comes up for you to re-look at it, it really is the time to re-look at it and think about it in that perspective and allow the miracles to come forward. If you're always saying, oh, that's nothing, I don't need to worry about that, or it's all in the past, it's one of those you're not allowing that miracle to come forward and to change your perspective. Next, we have our guardian angels. This is a time that we are going to see some changes with our guardian angels and kind of coming in more. Like I said, this one affects psychics more than anything else. And so they're going to be hearing messages from their guardian angels even more and amping up their energy. So just be aware that that's happening so that if you have psychic abilities, you are listening to your angels and guides to get that information. This is about children. Changing our childhood perspectives is so important at this time frame. And anytime a planet is in retrograde, it's really time to kind of change our perspective, change how we thought about things, change the things that we really want to. I have cards that just keep moving forward with this one. Okay, one more and we're finished. Truth and integrity. Make sure that you're always speaking your truth, that you're in your own integrity of how you see things. I had a client the other day that was dealing with something when she was like, oh, my sister sees it a different way, or she doesn't see it the same way I do. And I was like, that's okay. It's your perspective. The planets that were in alignment the day that you were born, the energy that you received from your parents is different. Even though you have the same parents, your energy is different from hers, and she's going to see it from her perspective, and that allows you to see it from yours. And it doesn't mean you have to agree. It just means that you can agree to disagree or to agree not to talk about it. It just gives you a different insight or a different kind of perspective of what's coming in, but know that your information is coming forward so you can bring in a new healed state for yourself. I thank you for joining me today, and I know that we're going to be talking again soon.